Bam! Going live. Welcome to the show tonight, Pro Se Legal School. We provide the tools you need to get done what needs to be done. Okay, we already changed the name of this. Yeah, this is the new thing. Post foreclosure eviction offense. It was defense, but when we get done explaining what I got going on here, I think y'all agree with me. But before we get to that, this is not just happening to tenants who are behind on the payments. This is happening to homeowners who still have their federal lawsuit pending over in federal court. There's a title dispute pending in federal court, and these people over here are going through what they're doing. And eviction courts are stealing property without jurisdiction, without due process, without even a chance to be heard. But now there's a weapon that the court's going to fear. I think. I know. We'll see. We got Coach M. She's about to probably be the first one to use this puppy. Oh, the Writ of Mandamus, the post foreclosure eviction Writ of Mandamus, that forces them to, well, according to their words, it forces them to obey the law. That's what their words say. I say, and so we're going to talk. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and we're also going to compare the differences. Well, okay, let's just get right to it. We're going to talk about the pitfalls. Okay, so, and I'm going to show, before we get to all of this stuff, we're going to do it backwards this time. Yeah, we're going to open up. I'm going to open up the share and show you guys what it looks like on the website. And so, at the end of the day, the foreclosure stuff shouldn't be going on. The court that's hearing the eviction process don't have jurisdiction to do anything if there's a title dispute pending. What we've been doing. But what do you do about it? Okay, let's do a screen share. And we're going to show you. The new pack here. My picture came out a little big, so I'm probably going to have to make that a little smaller. Now, you guys need to, you need to go do what a writ, understand what it is. Okay, then you got to educate yourself. Don't look like my notifications went out. But that's okay. I think YouTube been shadow banning me because they don't like the stuff I'm talking about. I wonder why. Attorneys run the corporations and they don't like stuff I'm talking about. Okay, so let's just stay focused. So the post foreclosure writ of mandamus orders they say lower court, but any court, they had to put the shit in there to confuse people. And I don't waste no time filling out an application, not even for the habeas corpus. It's ridiculous. Okay, but the writ So the mandamus, the writ of mandamus orders the court to or not to do something, and if they can't, to show, you know, to show, the reason why. And so you are on the website right now, so you're looking at the product there. So you can see who this is for. The homeowners facing eviction with an active foreclosure dispute. Now, there's a few things we're going to change here, and I didn't want to change them until we got done, so you can see. This is also for property owners. Um, I don't. People need to remember that the main thing that we're doing here, well, we're doing it very eloquently, or stopping the court process. Okay, so homeowners facing eviction. This is structured. And this is the fire that we bring into the stinking table tonight. This package is structured to help homeowners get back in their house, take control after the fact. Oh, well, wait a minute. Coach, what are you talking about? Well, let me ask you something. How many of your cases are just sitting there in court while they're ignoring your ass? Mm. How many of them are just sitting there while they ignore? Okay, how many of your cases? I'm talking about. Well, they're going to ignore you in eviction court because it's fake. So the other court's fake too. They're going to pretend. They're both going to ignore your ass. Okay, let's just stay focused. How many of you guys, your case is sitting over there, stalled? Nobody said nothing. Ain't nobody answering. The court just saying, "The hell with you. What are you going to do?" How many of you have stuff filed that they're ignoring, just sitting over there while they're throwing your shit out in the yard and kicking your family out on the street on some total BS? How many? Okay, I got a couple more. I got a couple of more. Okay, so how many of you hire an attorney because you didn't think you had a chance? Oh, and this is my coaching donation link. It's connected to PayPal. Anybody that thinks I'm doing a great job and would like to leave me a donation, or I had a couple of people pay it forward to allow someone else to get in, and then there's a link to the prosecutor eliminator package. And while we're on there, we might as well just click on there. And that's been reduced. That was, I don't know, 17. Oh, that's been reduced. And you can see my people have done a great job making sure that you see the fire. Why the attorneys hate it. Just about all of our pages have been redone. So you guys should go over there and check them out if you. Now, these are reviews that people have either emailed me or texted me. And so I just post them in there. Everybody knows who they are. All of the documents. Okay, so and there's some more stuff here. you guys can go to the website and take a look at those. Why don't we get back over here and get to work? Okay. So I'm not done with the stuff. So how many homeowners got a letter in the mail saying that your loan or whatever was been sent over to another servicer, and you need to pay that servicer, and you did, and then you got a letter from the same people like, yes, I don't know where these letters come from. I just know that this is the real-time feedback that will help us put this shit together. Okay, how many got a letter, okay, saying that after you paid them 4 or 5 times or 3 times, usually it's 2 or 3 times, they let you know they haven't received your payment for the last 2 or 3 times. Oh yeah. How many of you hired an attorney to help you because you didn't think you could do this yourself or that you had a chance? And and did the attorney tell you? And I'm just gonna throw it on the table right here because I've been all talking all this shit about how we're stopping the court process and all this stuff. Now we have, and we've been working real hard. Okay, we've been working real hard. Now, I'm all right with hard work. Okay, but if I don't have to work hard, I would rather work smart. That's kind of how I see it. So when the attorney took your money, did the attorney tell you that the court ain't gonna do shit over there until you pay all of this money and get them to file a writ to force the court to either take action or stop taking action? Yeah, we about to writ up in this. Yeah. Ow. Did the attorney tell you that before he took your money? Or, after they took your money? I don't know. I'm just asking because these are questions that I ask. I have to ask these questions because I play football in college and I box. I'm just not that smart. Okay, so if the attorney didn't tell you that you were going to have to file a writ to make the court, okay, let's think about it another way. If the attorney had told you that you're going to file a writ before they drained your bank account, how much would you have saved? Okay, just hold on, okay, because now we're looking backwards and we ain't trying to look backwards. I'm just making the point. Did the attorney tell you that there's in their shit of 3 to 5 year, depending on what statute, which is state BS, but that's what we're going to use right now. Before we get to the fire, did the attorney tell you that you have 3 to 5 years, or in some places 7, to file a foreclosure or wrongful foreclosure action for them stealing your property? But the attorney didn't tell you that when you're in the eviction process, all the eviction court and the eviction court don't have jurisdiction to do shit. Okay, but I'm just going to say this because this is what I read in my head and it's in my head. Okay, so the eviction court only has jurisdiction to rule on immediate possession, not the title dispute. So if there's a title dispute entwined in the immediate possession, and you know what that means, the title dispute is your lawsuit that you have filed in a higher court. That's why we do this, and they try to ignore. But we come to the table with a little more firepower for the crapola. Okay, so one of the things that we use, and I found this out studying for my friend Carrie Neighbors Shattered by Corruption. I still call her my girlfriend. What the hell? Yeah. And so, I was preparing her the lawsuit that she's going to file, and there was some things missing. And then the prosecutors got jammed up, Tara D. Moorhead, and all of them all got disbarred. But we didn't want to go in under Rule 6B and no. We went in under fraudulent concealment. Fraudulent concealment is a legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations. Oh. Water came out too fast. It tolls the statute of limitations. Okay, so what does that mean? If you include fraudulent concealment in your lawsuit for real estate fraud, then if there's no statute of limitations, then I don't know. Anybody could use it that been foreclosed on and evicted and kicked out of their house in the past. It don't matter how much passed. Fraudulent concealment is a federal legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations if there was things that was fraudulently concealed. Oh, that's so hot. Okay, but could it get hotter? Well, what if we use fraudulent concealment for one of the causes of actions in a lawsuit for $200 million? Just one of the causes of action. Oh, they don't do that. Oh, yeah, well, we do. We did. People are doing fraudulent concealment. Oh, there's no statute of limitations. Okay, so, I have ADDs. I just, this stuff rolls around in my head. So if you had fraudulent concealment, as a cause of action right before the 42 U.S.C. and to real estate deed fraud and RICO, no. Okay, so would that mean that if they dismiss your stuff, that you could just keep bringing it back? Because if the statute of limit, if it says there's no statute of limitation, you just keep bringing it back. But if you added it to the front of your lawsuit in federal court, would it be the same as bringing criminal charges? I don't. It's a federal law. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, so let's just work with this, and you can go over it in your head. Can everybody use this? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to tell you. Okay, let's go over how their thing works. Okay, you pay the attorney between $3,000 and $7,000 after they already been taking your money for an extended period of time, knowing damn well nothing's going to get done because they all agreed to some shit. Now, if there's anybody up in here And I know that my girlfriend knows exactly because we've been through this shit. If there's anybody up in here that don't think I got this right, then speak up over and leave a comment. Okay. They take your money, they tell you they're going to, yep. And then when they get to court, they tell your ass to shut the hell up, or they're going to have you hauled off and have the hearing without you. Yeah. Okay, so let's just think about it. If you're able, in their system, you pay for one document. All that money you pay for one document. That's pretty jacked up. But you know what? I don't have time for that because we rolling with this puppy. I think what we got is 6 or 7 documents. Why would you need all of them? Well, number one, people always ask me, oh, what's your guarantee? Whatever. And I'm like, okay, you know what? What's your attorney guarantee your ass? Okay, I just want to know before we even talk about that. How much did you pay the attorney, and what did the attorney guarantee you? And did the attorney tell you what he or she was going to do? And did you learn how to do it yourself? So the next time that you need to do this shit, you know, or I'm just asking. Okay. No, y'all know I ain't my guarantee. Okay. For those of you who know my guarantee is that if you watch the updated instruction video that you get with the premium package and you follow that, you're gonna have fun. That's my guarantee. Y'all ass are gonna have fun. Okay. Let's say hi to everybody before we finish this up. Now, yeah, that's a link to it, and I'm still working on exactly what I want to put in it, but I do have it the page up. And welcome, Heather. She's at hers. Well, young lady, you're going to get a chance to have fun because you got the premium package, and so just when you're ready to get rolling, we'll have to make it roll because you got what you need. Thank you for coming to the show tonight, Kerry. Saturday by Corruption and Amazon and bestseller. People are conditioned to trust the attorneys. I think some people think that the more they cost, the more you can the more you can trust them. That's not the way it goes. The more they cost, the faster they're trying to get your money before you get to yeah. Now I've been working on this for a minute, but before we get to this, let's just talk a little bit about theirs. You pay for the writ, you get the writ of mandamus, and there's other writs cost different. Like we also have writ of habeas corpus. I haven't had a chance to put it on the thing yet because to me this was pretty fire right here, and every package should. Okay, so the difference is in theirs you get one document, and maybe if you have constitutional issues or something or whatever, I'm sure it's going to be additional fees. They're going to charge you for copying, for the toilet paper that they use to blow their nose. Y'all thought I was going to say something bad. Y'all know what I'm thinking. Y'all keep up with me. Y'all know what I'm thinking. Okay, so and they don't tell you. So, there's some other fees that go up and down. But see, here's the problem. And the problem with the conventional writ is that if the document that you're forcing them to rule on has defects, then it's not going to be a good day. If the document that you're having them to rule on was structured by the attorney that your ass trusted, ain't not going to be a good day. If the document that they're ruling on doesn't have stuff in it to threaten the judge's ass and make sure the judge knows that he or she is going to be, it's not going to be a good day. If the document that you're having them rule on doesn't include the right parties, which is the government, for starters, the judge who's getting paid by the government. I think they call that a a conflict of interest. Okay, yeah, and then everybody that's in that little thing that's jamming is all getting paid by the same corporation or sub corporations of the same corporation. Oh. So, in my program, okay, this is like the lawsuit packages. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I'm going to charge you anywhere close to what attorneys charge you, I'm going to have to make sure. I'm going to have to make sure that y'all ass is going to the table with way more firepower than you need, for one. And I'm going to make sure that your ass has fun, have some damn fun. Okay, because I don't, okay, so now we have Writ Mandamus lawsuit package, and the one is for criminal, one is for, well, this one that we're talking about tonight is specific for getting foreclosure evicted people back in the house. That's what this is about. And this is going to contain the real estate defraud lawsuit, and that lawsuit is going to be beefed up with a little bit of information about the eviction process, which is going to be pretty much come from what we put together here. And then we found out that you can ask for an emergency writ of mandamus to compel dismissal of unlawful eviction, challenge jurisdiction, and demand injunctive relief and enforce the Constitution due process under the federal law. And then if you do that, then you got to have a statement of constitutional emergency. Oh, we've been studying on this puppy right there. The statement of constitutional emergency. Then we're going to add the temporary strain. I didn't even know. It's like a kid in the candy store. Okay, now I don't eat candy. In the fruit section. Oh. Yeah, if you're in this program, Heather, they're going to get theirs. And so they're going to get theirs. And that's the truth, Carrie. They need to work smarter, not harder, and at least move towards your goal, because you're not going to be moving towards your goal with an attorney. Well, we're not going to be doing a writ citatoria, Andrea. I appreciate what you're saying there, but we're not going to be doing that. And because when you have the right people on there, okay, then those people can't do all this stuff to you. I'm just trying to keep it simple. Okay, if you don't have the right people on there, okay, so our goal is to stop this shit. Okay, bam. That's what we do. We ain't trying to have to do, and I talked to DC the other day, and he's like, oh man, we got way more tricks than most people. They're all wrong for foreclosures. Actually, I like to refer to them as real estate deed fraud in their RICO operation. That's how I refer to it. Yeah. That's a good point, Kerry. That's a good point. Unless they explain to you how they were screwing you over. Okay, I'm being silly now. Fraudulent concealment. Now, in this document, you're challenging them to dismiss the eviction process. Your mandamus is to compel dismissal of the unlawful eviction. Okay, we're not, whatever on the foreclosure stuff. We're talking about the unlawful eviction. You're challenging jurisdiction and you're demanding injunctive relief and to enforce the Constitution due process under the law, under emergency constitutional situation. Coach M, she's getting ready to stick this in their face. Now, remember, you got 8 other documents too, so you're not just going to have this one document. You can go back and look at them on the list. We've got 8 other documents that we're going to be sticking in the face, and we're showing off, so we might as well. Oh, those are the emergency grounds that we're going in with, and all this stuff is in a lawsuit package. Now there is some stuff in here that's specific to the eviction process, and that's what makes this one document so badass. Now, here's the thing: if you hire an attorney at the gate and you get this mandamus package to whatever, then you can't connect none of that shit you were doing. Now, I did provide a supplemental pleading that people could use to correct something that they were doing, if it was a situation or whatever. But to me, I think you're a whole lot better off just starting with, filing one of the lawsuits that's in. There's a lawsuit in the writ, and what I would do was file that first. Before you use this, okay? I would get your case. This is how we do this. You want to get your case on the record? They ain't going to be able to respond. Okay, if it's in state court, they're not going to be able to respond because we use federal case law in state court. Higher court case law can be used in the lower court. But the problem is they can't respond to federal case law or Supreme Court case law with statutes and codes from the state level. They can't. So they're done by default at the gate on the state level. Oh, I know. What about federal, codes? Okay, so remember, we're here to stop the court process, not to play around with these people. Okay, so if the federal people are coming after you, then you have the federal government on there and the federal prosecutor or whatever. And this in this package, you're going to get one lawsuit that's a counterclaim, and it's set up where you're the defendant for $200 million, or you can put whatever you want on it. Whatever's in red font is what you have to personalize. And you have to make sure you copy and paste that shit in your own word and not personalize the original document that came in the file. Otherwise, I can see it over here. And Dwayne, you added too many people. I saw. You need to make sure you save that file clean in case you need to use it to help a family member or you start your own coaching business or whatever. Okay, so you're able to use the counterclaim and add their asses to it. You add them to the counterclaim by adding them as plaintiffs. I bet your attorney didn't tell you that. Yep, you can add them as plaintiffs just like they add defendants. And I would serve them the counterclaim. You don't have to serve them a counterclaim, but I would serve them, or at least serve the spouse of the attorney whose property got added to the counterclaim. Y'all stay with me, all right? We don't roll with limitations around here. Okay, oh man, my sister and we did that. And when the attorney's wife got served, her the counterclaim, and there was a letter in there explaining to her that we're also suing the bar association. So none of the state bar can help us. So you're gonna have to get federal. Oh wait, we're already moved it to. Oh, yep. So you add them to the counterclaim, and then file a counterclaim in the case. So now you just added their asses to their own shit. Y'all ass know they can't represent themselves because they're considered a corporation. They can't represent each other that's in the same corporation. They can't represent. They can't litigate. They can't. Oh, wrong finger. Sorry. Oh, so now you just chest 22 their ass in the check down. And you know, you still have the same lawsuit in there, but it's with you being the plaintiff to file in federal court when you think you need to. You know, I wouldn't be running around. I let the ass chew on that shit and figure out. You know, every time you keep doing stuff, okay, you close the door on what you had done already. They don't have to answer that shit. They're going to ignore it. Oh, wait. I don't think they can do that when you do the writ. But you know, you need to make sure that you got filed what you want to demand that they answer. Okay, that's the difference between the shit they put together and the firepower that we bring to the table. That I'm bringing the firepower that we're bringing to the table because this is all coming from collective, whatever. That's the difference. More firepower. We're not leaving no holes. I don't leave holes in my shed to get, and that's what I just said. If there's a hole, we find it because someone's going to tell me about it when they punch them in the face. And when they get punched in the face, I feel it and I don't like it. So, and that's why I get a little grumpy ass when people don't do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, Andrea, we just out of control. They told me I was mentally ill. And they sent me back for a forced medication order and all my girlfriend off the jail. because we stood up to their ass. Well, now we still stand up to their asses. So we're going to see how they like that. Now we're teaching everybody else how to stand up to their ass. And providing what they need to make their ass rule and stop playing in court. The emergency writ of mandamus to compel dismissal of the eviction process. Challengers, oh wait, could you do this to compel the dismissal of any stinking thing? I'm gonna take a drink. I'm thinking this writ stuff. Oh yeah, we about to come, and we're gonna have one for everything. I ain't playing. This is a whole lot. I don't know. We're gonna find out I can't wait to see how they want to try to answer. Oh wait, how could the answer? Oh, even on the federal, we'll just say, you know what? If they all want to answer for each other and do all that shit, that's fine. Go ahead. Oh, I'm fine with that. Oh, how are they going to answer? They have you in a administrative court process. Oh wait, let's start at the gate. Let's start at the gate. At the gate, they tricked you into registering your deed in their office. Yeah, they told you that we had to do that in order to, to make sure that nobody got on your property. But what they didn't tell you is that when they did that, that allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. And most people think it's the property, the tax. No, the first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. And let me explain to you why, because I keep it simple. If there were several people who own property, all of those owners will have to be present to sign that lien, right? Right. Both the people on my shoulders are saying right. So the fact that the alleged lender accepted the signature from your happy ass proved that you owned that shit already, and I smell stink. Oh, there's no law that says that you have to register your deed in their office. There's no law. The registration of the deed in their office allowed them to put the first illegal lien against your property. Back in the day, before statutes and codes and all this bullshit that they started doing, people kept their deed in their Bible, in their safe, or in wherever, under the pillow. And if somebody else wanted to get on their shit, they had to come to the table with something that was notarized and signed prior to yours. It was simple. Oh, but now it's complicated. People don't realize that the registration of your deed and getting your deed out of their office is the main goal here first, even though you got your 200 million on the table. Okay, getting your deed out of their office. The registration of your deed allowed them to do all of that stuff. And then what they did next was they reclassified your property from private property that the Constitution says can't be taxed, and not once but two different. They reclassify your property to one of their commercial designations, which is commercial, agricultural, or residential. And residential actually means it's the property of a government official. Okay, so in the city of Lawrence, they told me they have 13 classifications. Oh, I like, oh, hell, yeah. No, I didn't even want to know what they are. Okay, so once they register your deed in their office, that registration allows access to your property. I know. What are you talking about, Coach? You're talking crazy. Let me ask you something. You people are facing non-judicial foreclosures. Excuse me. You be facing non-judicial foreclosures. They tell you, they send you a letter, whatever, that they're going to foreclose on your property, or they're going to sell your property on the courthouse steps in 30 days. It's total bullshit. They're operating from a clause in a deed of trust that they don't even tell you about. And they tell you they're going to sell it in 30 days. And they do. Okay, my question is, do you think they could do that if they didn't have your shit already registered and file of your... Oh, hell no. Hell no. Y'all ass know how the government roll. Okay. So the registration of your property allows all their bullshit to connect to it. What am I talking about? It allows the realtors to start coming to your house before you even know your shit's in foreclosure. It allows all of those people to start calling you and offering you deals and keys for cash and cash for keys and all of that stuff. All of that stuff in my head is from your property, from your title being registered in their office. So they could do all of that. And then when you can't pay the property taxes after paying for years, I don't even give a shit how old you are. When you can't pay your property tax, then they're going to foreclose on you for that. They're not going to give you back what you paid, but they're going to take your shit so they can resell it again. Oh, they already have it listed in the realtor's stuff. Now, so we're kind of changing the flavor of some shit up in here because, I thought we were stopping the court process, but, you know, and we're not done learning. We are not done learning. Now, instead of playing around, and I ain't trying to trash my lawsuit packages because people still in the houses using them, and it's a lot of work. Okay, but now you'll have in the writ of mandamus, in the writ of habeas corpus, in the writ lawsuit package, you'll have everything that you need to get filed, so you have the right shit on there that you need to make them rule. And then you have everything you need to file in federal court, and then you're going to have, I might add a sanction demand in here, which is like a mini lawsuit that you also file. I would probably file that before I filed the counterclaim, because you want to get your punches in before you knock the ass on the floor. So. No, Heather, and thank you. That's a really good question. Right now, you don't have to be foreclosed on even to invest in the foreclosure defense premium package. Now, why? That package is structured to challenge the illegal process with the offer to pay letter. The offer to pay letter in that package is structured by your legal team to let those fools know that you're willing to sit down at the table and pay them plus the extra 10% for the trouble as soon as they produce the original instrument of indebtedness. And that's what the statutes are there for, their asses to follow to make it fair for us. The statute says that if they call in the full loan amount, that their ass have to provide the original instrument of indebtedness in its original form. I'm a freak. Okay, I got it. In its original form. And we already know they can't do that. That shit's in China somewhere. Everybody worried about the Chinese coming over and taking down. No. We live on the property right now, and they're taking it from my ass. Y'all ass know they ain't letting Chinese get no shit up in here. So I'm just. Ow. Okay, so here's how this works in my head. Okay, this offer to pay letter you serve on everyone. I served it on the foreclosure judge. I serve it on, oh, how do I know? You're killing me right now. Okay, this shit is done by the same people most of the time. It don't matter. Serving on the damn chief judge, it don't matter. What matters is that these people see your facts. And if you have verification that you served it on them and you offered to pay as soon as they could come up with what the judge over there is supposed to be making them do to force you to pay, then you're willing to write the check and go ahead and get that worked out. If they can't come to the table with that, then there's no dispute because you've offered to pay. The dispute is you don't want to pay, or you didn't pay, or you're not paying, or you haven't paid. Okay, sorry. Okay, could it be that simple? Well, the law says in order for them to make you pay, they have to come up with this shit right here. And if they can't, and the judge is not going to, oh wait, yeah, there's something in there for wait, we already added it. Okay. So the offer to pay letter in the premium foreclosure defense package is structured for people to challenge them before they get in default. And you know what they want to play? Then structure the lawsuit. Just send it to them as a notice of claim. This is what we're going to file if you guys want to keep playing. Or actually, I would just make letters and send them 1 or 2 pages at a time out of the letter, ask them for stuff or whatever. Oh, there's so many different. We make strips. Okay, we make scripts for people to read in the phone to harass their asses with. How many people call attorneys all the time? After the first time, you might get through, but then they're gonna put your ass. The gatekeeper is gonna check your ass at the gate and send you over to the voicemail. So if you got your script already written out, then just read that puppy in the voicemail. Yeah, this scarce petition is submitted as a plea for justice and remedy against the system as it ignored both the constitutional and the sanctity of our homes. So foreclosure fraud involved into unlawful eviction carried out by improper jurisdiction without constitutional safeguards and without human empathy. We no longer face a mere civil matter. We face tyranny. You might want to break that up into two. I don't know how long they're Oh, yeah, that's just a little something out of the statement of constitutional emergency. That y'all need to be adding to y'all stuff too. I left that on there long enough. You guys can see that. You can add that to your own lawsuit because you're suing for constitutional issues. A statement of constitutional emergency. And I almost forgot about this. I wanted to share this with you guys too. You know what? I didn't print it off. We have a new affidavit of damage. Always badass too. It's like 5 pages. And we're going to add that to this. Yeah, they're getting a chance to. They're actually getting a chance to file a counterclaim in other players' case after adding them as plaintiffs to their own stuff. Oh, and you're gonna have the package to force to excuse me. You know, they gave me a hard time ads, so I say it just like it says on the document. That's whatever. You're getting what you need to compel the court to do their damn job. Mm-hmm. Compel the court to do your job. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And I'll tell you, there ain't nothing. When I was helping my sister, and she came out with, it wasn't my to go after the attorney's property, and so she had to serve the attorney's wife, and then they did some shady shit or whatever, and so we ended up moving the ass over to federal court. Well, we didn't move it. Well, we did move it, and then it still was doing some shady shit. So she let me do whatever I wanted. That's how I was feeling out how to do this stuff. And then we just went ahead and filed the federal lawsuit over there because we got tired of them playing around. And when we filed the federal lawsuit, I took the attorney name off. His wife's name was still on it. And my sister said, well, why did you do that? I can't wait to hear this. And I said, well, I was, okay, so when we did that, the wife was so mad, the attorney got mad. The attorneys called the police and had the police bother my sister and try to get my sister to serve any more documents on the lawyers at their firm or into the court. And so my sister reminded them that they pasted shit in front of her house. Yeah. So they were really mad. So I took the attorney off on the federal lawsuit, and I told my sister I took the attorney off because I felt bad. I felt really bad for that attorney because that attorney got his ass kicked every day when he got home. Okay. You know, sometimes I'll be saying, "Oh, I should be paying you guys for the fun." Okay, that would happen. At one time, when I first started doing this and figuring out the difference between judicial and non-judicial, we had 5 people in Texas that all had the same attorney that they were whooping with the foreclosure stuff. Oh yeah. And yeah, they were saying Tony's pulling out his hair. I'm sure by now, that was a while back, so I'm sure by now you don't have no hair left. Yep, that's what they do. They try to do. We on their ass now. Yep, that's true. They're in it for the money. Well, that's true. But what happens, especially on the federal level, I'm not just stating on the federal level, what happens is when the prosecutor gets his or her ass kicked, or the federal government, the judge, they always off, and when they get their ass kicked, somebody's got to pay for bringing that case to the table. Somebody got to close the bill or some shit. Yeah, Frederick is having a good time, and he has his certified copy of his state filing, and he's going to file. I think he's going to put a lien against something. I don't know. And he said they ain't had nothing to say to his ass. Get him, Coach. Coach Frederick. Hey there, Ripple Effect Media. Welcome to the show tonight. We got some new people up in here. And I got a couple of new friends that should be here tonight too, but I don't know. Some people are incognito, and that's fine. Now, it's always a good idea to say hi if you're here, especially if you're going to invest in our stuff, because later on, if you have questions or whatever, the patience goes a long ways with people who show up every day and participate. So, thank you for showing up, Ripple. We're just gonna go with the. Well, good for you. Good luck. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to get done today. And this package we're putting together to help you get back in your house. And it's structured, it contains all of the stuff that is in the other premium package. It also includes issues with the illegal eviction process or whatever. And we're demanding that it be dismissed and we're going to put supporting documents in here, so you're not just going to the table with one document, and you're definitely not going to be going to the table with a conventional mindset. We know, and keep in mind the supplemental pleading that I included can also be used to make adjustments. Notice I didn't say corrections. I said adjustments. A lot of people are so worried to do anything because I'm scared I'm going to mess up. I'm scared of, and I'm like, okay, those are the people that aren't going to take action until they look out the window and see that long line of cars, police cars coming to your house to throw your shit out in the yard. And I'm just saying. Yeah, it's going to be so badass. Coach M is going to be the first one that's going to be using it, and so and Diane Garcia, Diane's going to be using it also. So and these are people that I'm helping. These are people that I'm helping get back in their house. Now, I don't always do it like this, okay? But I do it like this when I have a chance to do it like this, if I want to make a point that I can do it like because now I know what needs to be done because I'm the one doing. I get to grade myself. I get to give myself a review. And I know exactly what I need to put in there because sometimes people don't tell me the straight facts. Sometimes they change stuff. Sometimes they add a bunch of shit or they do the grammar check. And when you get done doing a grammar check on legal shit, you just check your ass in the toilet. I'm just saying. People worried about grammar, okay? I have not seen one time grammar get some shit dismissed, especially if it's the shit that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about none of this stuff you bring to the table over here. You're going to be getting me no. Thanks for showing up, Kevin. Come to learn and check us out. Notice you got that absolutely right. And then when you get arrested, we're consenting to everything they do by signing as we go. I need you to take off your shirt and put this shirt on, sign here. I need you to take off your pants, sign here. And then I need you to bend. Okay, you sign here. Okay, sorry. I'm not skipping that one, okay, because we ain't keeping it real if we ain't keeping it real. Everything you sign for, you're giving consent. And you know, they're slick about this. I'm glad you brought this up, notice. They're slick about this consent shit because they can get consent through acquiescence even when you don't sign. What the hell is that, coach? Yeah, I read some shit. Acquiescence. That's when you don't object to the shit they're doing. They're assuming that you're agreeing through acquiescence because you don't disagree. Okay, we get, but that's we're getting a little creepy on all that, but that's exactly what that is. Acquiescence. That's very true. And while we're down this whole notice, we're gonna also include those Zoom phone calls. Okay, those Zoom phone calls. You kidding me right now? The Zoom court phone calls. Oh, the divorce shit they do with that stuff's ridiculous. They call you in the morning, tell you got to call in the afternoon, so they know your ass ain't gonna make it. And then by the time you get in there, they already got all the shit lined up to throw you because you didn't show up. Yeah, Arizona has a law, and so statutes and codes, yeah, they aren't valid. They're not valid laws, so we don't go by them. And they don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. Those are the three things that the Constitution and federal law mandate that must be present for something to be a valid law. And statutes and codes don't have any of that. And that's the main reason why people should be kicking their ass into foreclosure. That'd be simple. Statutes and codes they're not valid laws. Don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. And they have your administrative court. And they already have your property hostage in their office. And people don't realize there never was a mortgage loan. There was no money. What they did was, after you left the table, they stamped paid to the order of on that document, and it turned into a security. A security is like a huge ass check. That's how poor people look at it. And a vice president or a bank or somebody signed paid to the order of honor without recourse, blah, 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 blah. It's probably still on the damn document. That means they turned it into a check they processed it through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. Now, Modern Money Mechanics is a publication put out by some people that know way more about the banking system than I do. And they said that the bank received 9 times the amount that went into a demand deposit account. That's why you don't see the check. Most places you borrow money, they give you the check. Okay, 9 times the amount that went into a demand deposit account, and the bank claiming they broke. Or wait, when they take your shit, they just don't give you back what you paid. They don't give you the other 8 times. So we don't go by Arizona law. We don't go by any state statutes. Well, that's true, notice. But everything is toast at the gate. Oh, Heather, I don't think you have the judge signed on there as a defendant. Because if he was, he wouldn't be throwing a tantrum. There would only be one, and then they would have to get another judge. Because you have to sue the state, the judge, the attorneys, the prosecutor. All those people were all paid by the state or the government. So we're not splitting hairs. Well, RP, I'm sorry about that, but I don't do family stuff. I do stuff for my family, and those are the few documents that I put together, but I don't do family stuff because it's not very much fun for me. I don't enjoy it. So good luck. Okay, guys. So we're putting this package together to help people get back in their homes after post foreclosure eviction offense. That's what we're going to change the name to offense, because this ain't no defense over here. we are not on defense over here. And I'm going to put this on. I should have it uploaded on the website tomorrow. Still figuring out exactly what documents I want to put in. And so we're just going to start switching everything over. Now, we're still going to have the lawsuits that we have. These are going to be for property owners or the people who want the very best that there is. Or you can put your own together. But it's still, well, we're learning how to stop the court process for real now, I think. I thought we were doing it before, and we were, okay, but we're working really freaking hard. We're working really hard. So I don't really want to continue working that hard. I want to make it easy. Did I say that? I think I'm getting old. No, I want to make sure you guys have fun. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I want to make sure that you have fun. Thank you, Heather. So, Heather, you should well, call me when you're ready to get started on your foreclosure thing. Which you need to serve first, and then we need to have a talk about, or we need to have a discussion about the bankruptcy court. And I know that's like a safety blanket you feel, which is going to be snatched out at some point in time. But if you're going to go forward and punch them in the face, you need to get rid of that. So you need to think about that before we talk, so you won't be too. Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get rid of, because long as those people are from the bankruptcy are in the way, they're going to be controlling everything. It doesn't matter what you file over here, okay? Because they have jurisdiction in their head. And until you stop them and kick their butt to the curb or add them to what you're doing, this is the easiest way I would do it without having to listen to none of their shit. Okay, without doing that and stopping them, they're going to control the program, and no one's going to pay attention to anything that you do. So I want to throw that on the table, and I have a couple of people that are already using this package, and I can't wait to get a response from them. Yeah, I know, and I know how this goes. That's why we gotta get that punch in their face, so they'll be worried about their face and not the blanket. So we need to contact me so we can get this thing rolling. Okay, guys, thank you for the value of sharing your time. I'm going to give my girlfriend a plug right before I leave. Shattered by Corruption bestseller. It's just a little bit about what we went through. A very small portion, as James Brown would say. Smidgen little bit. And I want to thank you guys all for the value of sharing your time and coming to my stream tonight. And I'm getting hungry now, so that worked up appetite using all these brain cells to think of stuff. So you guys make sure you click that bell and ring the stuff and share my so people can see what we're doing here, because I'm pretty sure that YouTube is shadow banning me. They're not sending out my notifications like they should, and I'm going to look into that next week too. And we're already saving our videos on our website, so that when YouTube finds out that there ain't shit they can do to me, it's gonna make me stop doing what I'm doing. So they can cut me down to whatever person, I'm still going to figure out a way to do it, because we don't have no limitations around here. Bam. Thank you, Heather, and I appreciate that. But we gotta get this thing under control, so we can both stop worrying. Okay, guys, I'm going to put a link again to the package in case anybody wants to go and take a look at that pretty ass web page. Thank you guys for sharing your time, and I see you guys in the next stream.